Before the video starts, I quickly want to remind you there's a whole list of topics or chapters in the video description. You can just click on there if you just want to learn how the trick works and don't want to hear me ramble about anything else. That's fine too. Have fun with the video and good luck building. Hey everybody, and welcome to another video. As you can see from the title, this is going to be a special one. I was messing around with General Striker and we found a little trick and we decided to see how we can exploit the trick and turn it into something useful. And this is what we came up with. As you can see from the side, it doesn't really look like you can see anything. This is just a garage door sticking out, so that doesn't really tell them much. Because also if you didn't use garage doors, you wouldn't have that problem. Also from the top, there's not much to see. It just looks like a small center base, which is the most protected, which is true. This is double metal with a lot of honeycombing around it, which is kind of true. So let's just look on the inside what it looks like. Over here, if you open this up, you got a natural airlock over here. And if you open these doors up, you can even have more cover. And you can just close them down mid-fight. Over here there are a lot of furnaces. You can of course do the interior or the placement of stuff however you want it. There's another box here. I wouldn't recommend putting valuable stuff in here because technically this is in the honeycombing. This other side is completely honeycombed, so if they'll break open some side of some wall over here, then they're not going to have a good time. If they do happen to get in here, they have to go into the center of the base, where the good loot is. Over here there's some more furnaces. You can reach all three of them. Then over here you got the research bench. A lot of people don't put the research bench down permanently, but you could, or of course use this, put more boxes down, whatever you want. I put another furnace because I like a lot of furnaces. As you can see, you can all run through this without being stuck or something, so it's all accessible. Over here I put a bed with a locker or quick change thing, whatever you want to call it. So then if you respawn, you can instantly grab or put away your kits and go out, whatever you want to do. Over here we got the center, which is the most protected stuff. You got your workbench. You got some boxes. Over here you got your main loot room, which is in the middle. Some big boxes, some small boxes, and then over here the last room is your repair bench, some more boxes for more loot, and this is all in the middle. So that's basically the whole base. There is a tool cupboard in here, so you might be thinking, well, some people might already know where it is, but you might be thinking, where is that tool cupboard then? Oh, not here. So it is actually behind the workbench. Yeah, workbench. So you can access it by just jumping on here, and these lights block it a little bit, but you can still access it, and you can see that the upkeep is pretty low. So even as a solo player, you should be able to manage this and do the upkeep. And the reason this is wood is because if you look over here, there's actually a wooden foundation under here. You might not have spotted because of the rock placement. So if you come over here and you get out your hammer, you can pick these up, everything that's here, and they are dropping because my inventory is full. Just pick up the rugs, and you can see there's a hidden triangle floor over here. And if you drop down, there's some more hidden boxes which you can use, and also a Dropbox. And if you jump to the other side, you can use the one over there. So where does this go? There's a hidden sleeping bag and hidden loot room down here, with big boxes over here, small boxes, sleeping bag. So you can spawn in here, jump up here, grab the stuff from the back, put it in boxes, and then spawn back up to your bed. Or the other way around, if you're coming online, spawn down here, grab the stuff you need, put it in the Dropbox, spawn upstairs, grab it, and then put down your rugs again and put everything back you want it, and then you can go play up here and just have the loot, and then when you need something or when you go offline, pick everything up again. You get the drift. So how do you build this? So you're going to start off with a high square foundation, the highest you can do. Then put 2 low ones next to it and make a half wall with a triangle floor and a normal floor. If you try to lock it on there, it doesn't work. It needs to lock onto the half wall that you placed. So that's basically the main part of the trick. You can then put your sleeping bag down here, but there are a few things that you have to keep in mind. If you put your sleeping down first, you cannot upgrade your foundation above it anymore. So you need to upgrade it to wood first and then put your sleeping bag under it. That way it works. Also, why wood? If you make it stone, it will be solid, so you cannot put your sleeping bag and spawn under there. That's why you need to keep this wood. The rest you can upgrade to stone. Like this. And if you're trying to put the rugs down, here it will work, but here it won't work. You actually need some kind of stability for it to work. So you need to either build foundations around it. That way it will work. And you can seal it off completely. Or have walls around it, and that way it will also work. So it needs that stability to be able to place this down. If I break one of these, it will also break your trick. So keep that in mind with designing. If it breaks, this will break too. Now, also one thing, if you decide to build half walls here, you cannot put high foundations next to it anymore. You see, it will block it because of the wall. If you make it like this, it would still look normal, but if you would then start upgrading your foundations, you can clearly start to see that something isn't right there. So don't put those half walls, don't block it off like that, just leave those. And that way you can put the high foundations, however you want, next to it. And that if you upgrade it, it blocks it off by itself. You don't need those high walls there. It just blocks everything, like this. So let's look at a different variation. This is DragonJR, his design, and the way he uses the trick. He actually puts his tool cupboard under there, which has his own pros and cons. So let's see how he does it and uses the trick and talk about if it's a good idea or not. So you're gonna start off with the lowest foundation you can make and then make 2 even higher ones next to it. Then Dragon goes 4 deep and 3 wide, but you can of course make it bigger or edit it however you want it. Then remove the highest middle foundation and replace it with the second tier or the middle height, whatever you want to call it. Then go back with the highest foundation towards the foundation you originally started off with and then replace that one with the highest level 3, whatever you want to call it, foundation. You can then close off the middles with half walls. And you can put 1 or 2 foundation there in the middle, whatever you want. You can then place your tool cupboard, box and sleeping bag in the middle so you can spawn there. You can also use that to jump out of the middle. And then close off the back and the front with half walls. If you are planning on making more foundations around it, don't put the half walls there. They will block you to put more foundations at the same height. Choose whatever side you want the drop boxes on. That's where you're gonna place your triangle floor. And then place your drop boxes on the half wall under the triangle floor. And that's basically the whole trick. So remove those back and front, like this half wall you see here. If you're planning to make more foundations around it, otherwise this should be enough. Just upgrade everything and it should be hidden. The foundation steps make it seem like you're on a normal level and there's nothing under there. Then just place your rugs and fill it in however you want. The repair bench works great. It doesn't really care that there's a triangle floor under it. So let's look at an even bigger design. And this is like taking the whole thing a next level. This is SnowballFred, his take on the whole idea. He uses the same thing, the drop boxes, the triangle floor with the rug on there. Then he has some boxes on there, but then there's another level of security. He has a hidden garage door behind some more rugs. And this is really for clans or modded servers, whatever, because he went crazy with the rugs, as you can see. It's a nice design, and if you do go for this, it gives you a really big hidden room, which you of course then can access by putting a sleeping bag or bed under there. So if you have the resources and if you want to go this way, it is possible. Let's dive in and let's see what this does. This one is a little bit difficult to build. At least in the beginning it looks all twig, it's kind of confusing. But then later on in the video, when everything is upgraded, it makes a lot more sense. So let's get it on and let's see what he did. So like I said, this one is going to be a little bit more difficult to build. I recommend setting up your own server and mess around with the design before you try to put this on a live server. If you don't know how to set up your own server, look in the description. There will be a link to my tutorial how to do this, and this will make it a lot more easy. Because if you try to copy this and then do this on a live server, I will almost guarantee that you're going to get killed or mess up the design. So it's going to be a little bit hard to give a play-by-play of the build. Just take a good look at what he does. You're going to choose one side, which is your entrance. Then you're going to remove one of those triangles and elevate it. This is going to be your jump-in entrance. Then make half walls around the middle. And he's also putting some honeycomb half walls down right now. And then put a high wall next to your entrance. And then you can build all the way around, which is basically your outside wall. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit hard to do a full play-by-play. Just take a good look. I kept everything in there, I just sped up some parts. When you're done going all the way around, just place your floors. This is basically going to be your main floor. And for people, if they don't know that the room is under there, they will never know there's anything under there. It's just a weird design, they probably think. You're then going to start placing high walls. And this is basically creating your rooms. This looks really chaotic right now, but when everything is upgraded, it makes a lot more sense. That floor on the left you see, he's going to fill that up in a little bit, so that doesn't have to be open. You then keep going around and make sure everything is the right height using half walls and high walls on the outside. He's now removing that frame for the garage door and making an outside wall there, and then make sure everything is the right height. So you basically got one proper looking, same height outer wall. Ignore those triangles on the outside, he just was messing with that, and in the next shot they're already gone, as you can see. Then close off your roof and you basically have your inner room. Like I said, I sped this up, should be pretty straightforward. Just look at the floor below or the hole you have and fill it up. Then you're going to make a hole on one side, just remove one of the squares so you can put your triangle floor in there, which allows you to go down. And that basically gives you access to a really big tunnel under the triangle. You can leave this open if you want to. You can even put boxes there, but I would recommend closing it off and then use your drop boxes to get access to the inner core, as you can see there. You can put a door frame down there, and then you got like a half garage where you could crouch under. Then you can put your more garage frames there, and this is basically your rooms. Like I said, it looks a little bit chaotic, but now it's upgraded, it should make a lot more sense. And this is basically where you go crazy with your rugs and you don't have to go as crazy as Fred did, but this will make it less appealing, or they really have to go and break all the freaking rugs. So this is will only work for modded, or if you do 1 or 2 rooms. The more crazy you go with the rugs and everything and make it look more like a roleplay base, I think the less they will be interested. So the rest of the fill up is basically up to you. He decided to block everything behind some furnaces because you can pick those up. He's making some loot rooms, put your workbench somewhere, your research bench, etc. Then put your rugs on your triangle floor to hide the tunnel or whatever you want to call it. And then put your boxes on there. Putting boxes on there will maybe, even if they find the hidden garage and break it and they find the loot, if you put some juicy loot in there, they might not continue and start breaking all the rugs. Now the tunnel, I would recommend closing it off, because if you leave it open, it's kind of a giveaway there's something there because they can see the inner core. If you close it off, they might still think that it's all honeycombing. Just leave one place open, place your drop boxes there, and then you have access to the inner core. And then you can basically go and about dressing the inner core. So you can make a lot of loot boxes there. But yeah, you can of course do whatever you want down here. We just want to show you the trick or show you the mechanic, and then it's up to you to make it your own and do something that people don't expect. If you think it's useful, or if you find a better way something, please discuss below, because maybe we can make it even better or more useful if you find a glitch or something. One thing I do want to address is if you decide to put your tool cupboard in the hidden room, it kind of motivates raiders to keep on going because they didn't find your tool cupboard yet. So maybe in the beginning of the wipe you want to put the tool cupboard down there when a lot of people don't have the explosives to just keep on going, and then later on in the cycle move it up to give them tool cupboard access when you have explosives to blow yourself out of there. But this could be depending on your style. Here I'm just flying through the base so you can kind of see what it looks like going in. You basically hit the main loot room here, or the main center room, whatever you want to call it, and then you can just blow up garage doors, and hopefully they will not look behind the furnaces, because that's where your hidden garage door is. And if they don't find it, then you're really lucky, and if they do find it, hopefully they don't find the second layer of security, which is the triangle floor with another layer and the hidden room. So I hope this was useful. If you like the design, copy it. If you like the trick, make it your own, even better. And the more you go crazy with the rocks, the better. That's basically it. So thank you for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, you're a G. As always, I'm out. Peace. Yes.